Hello, welcome back. The weather's working tonight. We've got internet for the moment, so fingers crossed it's going to stay on. Welcome. We've had lots of shows this week. We've got lots coming up next week. We've got lots of live shows coming up. So keep an eye out on the page because we will put more ads up as it comes in. But thank you all for coming back on and talking tonight with us. It was just a bit of a thing last night. We couldn't go live without internet. So we've got Liam waiting for us to have a chat. So we're going to welcome him into the room. But if you've got questions or anything, pop them in the comments. Scott's back tonight. Hello.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you. It feels like I've tried to do this for ages, so it's nice to finally do it. And
it is nice to finally make it happen. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, how have you been? It's you're up in the warm and I'm rugged up, but how have you been? How have things? I haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but no, life's been challenging to be honest, but it's exciting. There's a lot of good things that are happening at the moment, so it's nice to have some things to look forward to, and obviously on the music front, there's plenty happening, so it's nice to be busy.
Good. It is nice to be busy, and it's nice to hear that because so many there's not much happening, or tickets aren't selling, or there's just so much pressure in the industry at the minute.
Yeah, it's definitely been a really tough year for a lot of people touring, and I think there's still like a lot of hangover from COVID and stuff, where it kind of everyone thinks it's normal, but it really isn't completely normal yet. So it's it's I think everyone's learning what the new normal is still, and how we can make our job still work. So it's been an interesting little period, but we're getting there.
It has been an interesting period, and I think also there's a bit of a fear still about tickets, of people thinking that they're not going to get their money back. But I actually don't know anyone in COVID that didn't get their money back if they requested it for a ticket.
Yeah, I mean, you understand why. I mean, it's hard. Everyone's having a hard time making money, and even if you've got a job, everything costs so much these days. So you got to at some point say no to some things. So I understand tickets are one of those things, and I do it myself. So.
We do. Not music though. We want music tickets. I don't know if I can say no to music tickets. I've tried and I can't do it. I don't know if I do it in my sleep. I just order them and think, oh yeah, I just won't pay the power this week, maybe.
Music priorities.
Yeah, that's what I need to eat this week. Can I survive 1 week without food? That means an extra ticket. I can do it.
Absolutely.
So last time I don't know when I would have last seen you live. Would have to have been Groundwater, but I don't know which one because I haven't been for a couple of years now.
It would have been a couple of years ago. So,
so what's been happening for you musically? What's been?
Yeah, well, I mean, since we last spoke, there's probably been quite a bit. The last couple of years, I've been working on a lot of new music. We've been really busy with gigs, but trying to get the new album finished and all of that has just been hard. As I said, like life's been hard, as it has been for everyone. And, recording music is getting more expensive and more expensive. And for me, like I'm a bit of a dinosaur now. Like my first album came out 15 years ago. So for me to learn how you release music in 2024 is a bit of a process for me. Like a lot of us are hanging on and trying to catch up because it's changing so quickly. But as I said, life's been hard and had other things going on in life, so it's been difficult to get this album finished. So we had the last single that I released, Brand New Truck. I mean, that was pretty well finished for nearly 2 years before we were able to release it. So
was the last song before that A Few More Dirt Roads? Was that the last single you released before that one? Was there one in between?
Oh, we had A Few More Dirt Roads and then Kick It Tomorrow. And then I think there was about an 18-month period or so, maybe 2 years until Brand New Truck. And there was around like at the same time that we finished Brand New Truck, we were already working on the rest of the album. So the last 6 months we've been really spending a lot of time on that, which is really exciting. And I know everyone says it, but I still think 15 years into recording music for me, I'm still learning what it is that I do and what my music, my sound is, and what my strengths and weaknesses are. And I really think this time around, like, I'm so excited about this music. It's a bit different. Like, we've recorded this new stuff with a good mate of mine, Matt Smith, who is the guitarist in Thirsty Merc. So obviously quite a bit different. I'm probably one of the more country, I guess, sounding in Australian country music. To work with someone like that was really cool for me, like, just to have something that was completely different and us just coming with these completely different ideas. So it's been really fun process. A bunch of great songs. I've written a few of them. A few of these new songs have been written with a few of my great mates that obviously Travis Collins, Nick and Tom Wolfe. So there's some heavy hitters on there and some really great songs that I'm really excited to get out on the road and play. So really, we've just been working on that. Waiting on the mixes back for those, so they're really soon, and they'll be out really soon. I'm hoping to have something out over Christmas. No one really releases over Christmas anymore, so I thought, bugger it. Everyone's sitting at home, scrolling through their phones and listening to music around the pool. Let's give them some new Brew music to listen to. So
especially like summer music. We like new summer music. What a good idea.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to getting some stuff out for people to listen to around the pool over Christmas.
I love that. Well, actually, Danny's just popped in and he made the comment. He can't wait to see you at the Dinner Big Country Jam. That's your next show, isn't it? That's your next.
It is my next show. So it's been a long time. I was down at Mathina maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Maybe I'm not too sure. Maybe longer. That's scary. But was down there with Travis Collins, and we played there, and it was. I had such a good time. It's such a cool venue. I love country pubs, and to combine that with just the whole street getting involved and playing just to a bunch of people that are having a good time is obviously what I would love to go there as a punter and and just drink
just actually to sit and watch and enjoy the atmosphere as well.
So I'll just have to do that and watch Josh after me. I'll have to cram a whole day. I'll have to cram a whole day of it into an hour when I get to watch Josh's show, which will be enjoyable for me anyway.
It will be, and there's actually a couple of good ones coming on before you, but you probably don't want to drink as much before.
No, I don't want to do that. I've got a job to do. I take my job very seriously, but obviously the Mathina Big Country Jam next Saturday. Absolutely. And Josh Setterfield obviously is the other headliner. So Josh and I have been mates for a long time, and he's killing it at the moment. And we keep talking about wanting to work together. So we keep every time we catch up, we get along so well, and we keep talking about it. So we've finally got a show together, and we're really excited about it. And we'll try and put on a big one for him down at the Mathina Big Country Jam.
Well, it's going to be a really big night. You can still get tickets too. So there's
absolutely
comments as well if you do want to grab your ticket, but we'll also put it up later in the show for you as well. I'm sorry, I'm echoing. I reckon Scott's working on the sound as we speak. Nothing's happening. Can you hear me?
I'm not hearing it. So I can hear you just fine. So we're all sweet.
Good. Okay. I'm just it's all on, so we'll see how it goes. It's not windy here, but it's cold. It's not windy. I know you guys are sitting up there in 30-degree heat, and I'm like, I'm just going to get a jacket before we go live. You're going to have to bring warm clothes next weekend. You're going to need them. Or bring jumpers and sell some jumpers.
Yeah, well, that I might have to go buy a Josh Setterfield hoodie or something. So keep myself warm.
Hoodie, and I reckon I don't know if the thing has got any hoodies left, but there'd be a few, I reckon. Hi Nat, how you going? It's a Friday night. Are you guys all working? Have we interrupted everyone?
Yeah, why isn't Nat out gigging? She's one of the best singers in the country, and she's watching us. Like, go sing to some people, Nat.
Do some singing. And Darren's popped into the room. There's lots of people popping in. Thank you for joining. So tell us, you say you've got music coming out hopefully at Christmas time. Have you got any shows? You've got Mathina next weekend. What have you got for the rest of the year show-wise?
Yeah, well, I've got I've got a few other things going on that. So we've been working on a Morgan Wallen show that it's called the Ultimate Morgan Wallen Tribute Show. So we're doing a couple of those shows as well, which is something very different for me. But we got asked to do them, and I said no for ages because I've been so busy with my own stuff. But I'm a big Morgan Wallen fan, so I said I'll just do one and just see how I feel. And then me and the boys just had a lot of fun doing it, and so we've got a couple of those shows leading up to Christmas and for New Year's stuff, which are about to be announced. So that'll take up a little bit of my time there, but it'll enable me to. Outside of that, I can focus on getting this album finished, which I'm looking forward to. So there's not a lot of actual Liam Brew stuff until the new year, which we obviously get into. Tamworth is really busy. We've got my 90s country show that we've done for the last 7 or 8 years, which I just love doing. I mean, as you know, like I grew up on 90s country music. It's what made me love music. So really excited for the Tamworth Festival this year that we're moving the show over to West Diggers, so that'll be a hell of a lot of fun on the Wednesday night.
Do you wear the wig for that one in the heat in Tamworth? Does the Jackson wig stay out?
Well, see, there's been quite a few different iterations of the costumes over the years. And at different times, yes, I've worn a wig. Now I do have a mullet.
You've got your own. You're not having to.
I've kind of got the Alan Jackson thing like nearly going on anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't wear a wig as much these days. But the killer is, if anyone's been there for that show, there's usually a point in the show where I come out in the like American flag life jacket, like the Chattahoochee, like this.
Where did you find that?
I bought it at Bass Pro Shops in Dallas, I think, when I was a couple of years ago when I was last in America. But so a part of the show I come out in that, and people would think that the wig is hot to play a show in, and yes, wigs are hot, but the life jacket, holy, like that thing. I used to wear it for the whole show, and then it got to the point where I went, I can't. I need other costumes because this thing, like, I would be ill. Like, I would be vomiting coming off stage. I would just be cooking. It's like the insulation. I don't know what's going on, but I'd just roast. So, so we only wear that for a few songs now. But that's the killer. That's the heat that you got to worry about, not the wig. It's the life jacket.
I do understand how hot life jackets are. I spend a lot of time in.
Normally, though, you're like in the water, so it's kind of it's not as bad. But when you're on stage and you're not in water and you're just cooking,
especially on the mainland. Down here, you'd probably cope, but in Tamworth,
Tamworth, not so much.
So much. Even in the air conditioning, wouldn't be fun in Tamworth because I actually sometimes don't know if there's air conditioning on when you're there. It doesn't always feel like it.
I don't feel like it works that well. But so we've got the Wednesday show there at West Diggers, and then Friday is my only Liam Brew show. So we're playing with Travis Collins and Jess Moskalook at the Tamworth Town Hall on the Saturday night. That one is. So
is that the first Saturday or the second Saturday?
The second Saturday.
So
Yes, awards night. Yes. Yep. So obviously I'm not getting any awards, so I can safely go and play at the Tamworth Town Hall. So
you just decide to put them aside, let someone else have a go, and play.
Yeah, you got to share them around. It's really, I'm just protecting myself from the heartbreak of losing more of them.
giving money to lose an award. You have some money. Like, no, I'm not really.
So an easy Tamworth for me this year, just those two shows, and hopefully I'll actually be able to see some other shows as well, because normally I run around all week and I play everywhere and every night, and that'll be nice.
That's my rule this year. I'm going to actually see a show because I don't think I saw many the last few Tamworths.
No, it's hard when you're working down there to see too much, but you got to do it sometimes and remember why you love it.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I wanted to know, I have had a few people ask next weekend and any of your shows coming up? Are you going to mix a bit of the 90s into the Liam Brew sets? What can they expect?
Well, we generally do. It depends on the gig, but for Mathina next weekend, yeah, generally for those, longer sort of 90-minute sets that we do, we will sort of put 2 or 3 90 songs in there. It's just it's such a big part of what I do,
Yes.
and such a big part of the influence of me and why I love what I do,
Yeah.
that it's I don't know, it's kind of just become a part that I can't do it without it. I can't tell the Liam Bruce story without playing some 90s
No.
country,
Yeah.
And I also feel like, and it's something that I've learned with doing the 90s show, is there's so many country music fans now that have come in, in the last 5 or 10 years. And obviously with the boom of Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen and Chris Stapleton and all that sort of stuff in the last couple of years, a lot of people are big country music fans, and, they go to CMC and they're obsessed with the genre, but they're not aware so much of, I guess, the artists that influence the artists they listen to now.
Yes.
And
yes.
and from doing that 90s country show, for us, we learnt that, and when I say us, I mean me and my band, but we sort of learnt that there were people that would come along to that show just because they heard it's a good time, but then they talk to us after and say, oh, like, we knew none of those songs, but they'd come every year and you'd see them the following year and they'd say, oh, we're big Alan Jackson fans now. We're big Joe Diffie fans, or Clint Black or Clay Walker. And they'd go digging, they'd go back and listen, and then they'd go, oh, well, I love Jake Owen and I'd see where he got that from, so we sort of, I don't know, I feel, it sounds weird and it sounds so wanky, but I feel a responsibility in a way to share that music with people that mightn't be aware of it, because it's great music and it's the foundation for the sound that we have now. And obviously there were generations before that built that sound, but it's cool to see 90s country's had a bit of a resurgence in the last few years. I guess a lot of the current acts are shining a light on it, but not so much here. Obviously, Lee Kernaghan was a part of that and was the basis of that here in Australia. But it's I don't know, I just feel a responsibility that if we can introduce some people that aren't aware of that stuff and aren't aware of those artists, and we can make fans of 90s country music that weren't aware of it in the first place, then that's pretty cool. So we try and introduce, even if it's just 2 or 3 songs into our show, and I guess encourage people, if you dig that stuff, go looking for it, because there's plenty of good music there.
Exactly right. It's interesting that you say that, because I've had a few friends lately say, oh, I'm feeling this, can you send me a song? And I had one friend, I sent her Terry Clark, and I can't remember what song it was, but it was something that she was asking for. And she's written back to me, goes, oh my gosh, that's great. Is that new? No, that's actually not even close to new. But I just thought it'd be good for you. And she was she's probably in her early 20s, hadn't heard of any of that, and it just opened up a whole world for her. And it's interesting. 90s music and even music into the 2000s has a much longer shelf life than a lot of what we hear now, because you've still got it recorded, it's still at home, whereas your streaming music doesn't seem to have as long a shelf life. Hopefully it comes back round again.
I think maybe the tangible things, or you got CDs or vinyls or whatever, like you're a bit more nostalgic with them because there's a memory attached to the physical thing. I mean, I know I've got albums that I got signed when I was a kid. Sorry to go off on a tangent with it, but I was 5 years old and I went to a Lee Kernaghan concert, and I got the Outback Club album cover signed, and I took it to show and tell the next day at school. And this kid, as something that I had to deal with a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people had, as being a country music fan, wasn't very cool back then. So I was really proud of this this album cover that I got signed, and I got the absolute living daylights kicked out of me, and this kid ripped the album cover up and was like, oh, you're a loser for liking country music or whatever. So I've still got that record and the album cover, and mum taped it back together, and it's, you know, so that was 30 years ago or something, and I've still got it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you're not going to have an emotion or a memory attached to a playlist on Spotify. But for me, that album, that physical album, I do. And, you know, that represents me, like me going to one of my first concerts and going, that's what I want to do for a living.
Yes.
And looking up to Lee as an absolute god and being proud of being a country music fan.
Yes.
Going to school and going, all right, well, this isn't cool, but I don't care. Like, I'm passionate about this, and I'm going to fly the flag, whether it gets my face kicked
like
in or not.
Yeah, I know.
And that kind of set the tone for my life. I mean, that's not the first time I got bashed for liking country music, but it's you know, it just made me go, no, I'm passionate about this and I love it, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life flying the flag for it. And I like to do that as an artist too, you know, and it comes back to exactly what I was talking about with sharing the 90s country stuff. So
100%.
Yeah, it's all part of it.
It's interesting. The reason that I'm Danny is for that same reason. And it was the Hattown tour. And I've got the poster, and the lady back then you had to take it to the post office to get it laminated. And Mum took it, and the poster's got all bits of plaster laminated over in it, because she somehow got it covered in plaster when the lady was putting it through the thing, so it's got all these lumps all over it. So I was I was pretty mad.
I went to Hattown tour as well as a kid, and so another 2-minute annoying story from me, but it's my first album that I recorded. I was 18 years old, and I was sitting in the recording studio, so completely overwhelmed by the people that were in that room. You know, all those musicians had played on all the records that I'd listened to growing up and made me want to be a country singer. So it was super intimidating. And I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I was so green, and I was just absolutely not ready to record a big budget album with my heroes. You know, that was absolutely the truth. And I got talking to James Gillard, who's a bass player, an incredible musician. And he was playing on my record. And I said to him, you won't remember this, but Hattown tour, Nambour Civic Centre, I was queuing up to get Lee to sign a poster, and I walked across the front of the stage, and you were packing your stuff up, and I asked you to sign the poster, and he signed, sorry, boss, I got here first, James Gillard. And I got to Lee, and he sort of looked at it and was like, you know, kind of had a bit of a chuckle, but you could tell like he was a little bit annoyed, you know, and signed the poster, you know, to my mate Lee Kernigan. And you know, so I've still got that poster. It's actually Mum and Dad's. It'll be here somewhere. But so, you know, whatever it was, 15 years later, I'm there, and I said, you won't remember this, but I've got a poster of yours signed from when I was a kid. And he started pissing himself laughing. And Rod McCormick was in the room too, and he was on that tour. And he said, Rod, do you remember when Lee ripped me about signing that kid's poster? He goes, that little bastard was Liam. He goes, you would never have thought that, you know, fast forward 15 years, we'd be recording an album for that little kid. But yeah.
Wow. Such a big moment. And this might help you too. We had James bundled down at Mathina 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. I don't know. It's kind of all turned into one. And we were down there, and the poster with you guys on it on the wall. And James walked up, and he's like, he's a really good guy. He really talking about you. And I was just like, I thought, oh, that would be a really good moment for you, because 90s is your thing. And James back then, like Lee, was, you know, high in the rotation. It was really interesting. Yeah.
No, James is a beautiful man. And when I was young and coming through and looking for any opportunity, he was amazing with me, and still is. He's one of the best blokes you'll ever meet. So I would say the same thing about him, but it's very nice to hear that he would say that, because he's an absolute legend of our industry for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that I have kept you for ages, and I'm really sorry. We're good at talking, and I could talk stories all night because I love this. I'll bring my poster next weekend to show you the lumpy poster that I still haven't forgiven her.
I can't wait to see it.
98. I have not forgiven her. 98. She ruined my poster, and that's how Danny came about. But you can still see it. So I'll bring that and show you. I've got a lot of those things here. It's a bit of a museum here, but next weekend. I can't wait to see you down here. What's something that you have done in Tassie or haven't done that you love about Tassie? Anything, big memories down here, apart from Athena, because we know that's always a big memory.
I haven't spent anywhere near enough time down there as I'd like to, but Mick Skelton, who's an amazing drummer who is played on my new record, he lives down in Hobart, and he's always asking me to go down there, and I'm great mates with Nick and Tom Wolfe as well, so they're always asking me to go down there. So I think I need to go and spend a fair bit of time in Tassie, but every time I've been there, it's just beautiful. It just blows me away how stunning it is. And then you see these amazing, coastlines, and you think, why isn't anyone living there or swimming? And then you remember that it's 3 degrees and windy. So
you can still swim. You can still swim in the middle of the winter. You're still going to be rugged up most of the time. But
Hobart is something. Hobart is a city that I want to spend a lot of time in, and I'm a massive cricket fan. So I think Bellerive Oval, a test match or something would definitely be on my list of things to do. But the Wolf Brothers farm, the berry farm, I have, that is probably one of my favourite things that I experienced in Tassie, because I have spent a big night there with Tom. Hopefully for my own health, I can avoid that this time. That's all I'll say. But no, it's a beautiful place, and can't wait to get back there. And as I said, I'd like to spend a bit of time there one day and have a nice little holiday, I think.
Holiday, and do some shows while you're here. Well, thank you so much.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Let's catch. We'll catch up next weekend. We might try and do a live from down there next weekend. If people come, are you bringing merch? What can we get? Some CDs? What can we get?
Yeah, we'll bring some merch down. So yeah, I'll have to dig through I've just been moving house, so I'll dig through the boxes and see what I've got, and bring some stuff down. I might find some old stuff that we didn't know we had left as well. So I might bring some interesting merch items down. No, it'd be good. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited about this show. It's been a couple of weeks buried in the studio, so it's nice to get out and play a live show. So I'm looking forward to it very much. And yeah, what a place to go and play. So I can't wait to get back to the dinner.
Well, right now I'm going to tell you to bring that life jacket because you need it. Tonight it's cold.
It'll keep me warm in this instance.
Yeah. No, bring that down, and we can't wait to see you. The one song that I would imagine you get requested every single show you do would be Doghouse. Is that correct? Still? Is that one
yes. Coming up? Yeah, definitely get that one requested. I think there's about 2 shows that I haven't played that song, and I got abused for it both times. So I've learnt my lesson, and I'll continue to play that song.
That's a forever song. It's one of those. But how great is that to have a song that is a forever song in your set that people do? Yeah. That was on that album, wasn't it, that you were talking about before?
Yeah, that was on the very first album that I recorded. It was the second single we released, and if not for that song, I don't think I'd still have a career in country music. So I'm pretty grateful for that one.
Yeah, and the film clip is still pretty good. Like it's still you watch it, it's still funny. It's still well done. It
was a lot of fun. That day was fun. It cost me about 3 cartons of Tooheys New to get all the boys there. If people haven't seen it, we had like McAllister Kemp and Travis Collins and Chelsea Basham. Had a lot of artists in it. And it was,
I forgot Chelsea was in that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was at my pop's place, so it was he just cooked a bunch of burgers and we drank a bunch of beer and made a video. So it was good.
Yeah. You know what I might do? I might pop that song. I might get that film clip and put it in the comments for everyone to watch when we're finished here. Just to tie that together before next weekend.
Just for a bit of nostalgia with me with my afro.
That would be great. It was a really good afro. I was, I don't know. Do you go the mullet or do you go back to that? You could,
I don't think I could do it. It was weird. I rebelled against the afro not long after that and shaved it off, and then my hair just never grew back curly after that. So what a shame.
Mullet is.
We can't revisit it.
Doghouse, is your 12-year-old's favourite song?
Yeah, Christy's beautiful. She's been a huge supporter of mine for a long time, so she's probably forced that upon her children, knowing her. But no, it's nice to know she's been watching tonight. But yeah, who knew that song? People would still be listening to it.
And that's the way it always goes. You can never pick the hit. The one that you think is going to be hit is usually not. It's usually the one you go, oh, no one's really going to worry about that. That's usually the one that goes crazy.
Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure on it when we were recording it, and then it wasn't going to be a single. Like the record label had sort of finished the push with that album, and then so many people were kind of gravitating towards that song, and so I funded that one myself in the video clip, and just kind of thought, well, I've got to have a go, or else my career's dead. So we did it. Thankfully, yeah, like it went to #1, and CMC played the hell out of it, and we kind of got remembered for that one. So pretty grateful.
Ashley said that they have Liam's songs on rotations in our daily playlist. Some great music. I do love your music, and I have to say Doghouse will always be a favourite, but I think that's because, there was all the Tamworth stuff that went with that, and being around that at the time is probably, it's holding on to those memories as well for me. But I really liked A Few More Dirt Roads. I don't know why. I think it's probably a memory as well, because I know Darren was in Tassie around about that sort of time, and it's, again, a memory thing.
Yeah, it's weird how some songs, it's not about the song at all. It's about, when you first heard it, or what you were doing, who you're with, whatever. So it's, music's a strange thing, but whatever it means to whoever it means something to is pretty cool.
It is. Well, thank you so much for your time. Guys, make sure you go and get your tickets for Mathina next weekend, and then keep an eye on all of Liam's socials for upcoming shows, especially if you're in Tamworth. Get tickets to the 90s show. Get tickets to the Liam Brew show. You'll love both of them. And go and have a listen to the current songs. And I've just lost my train of thought and trying to work out what I'm trying to say. Social media. If you go to the social media and click on the QR code, you can get to Liam's current songs, brand new track. I haven't had a drink, and I feel like I have. I was trying to get.
I'm going to go have one now.
Yeah. Now that I've said that, I'm trying to say QR code, and it just wasn't coming into my head. Go and scan the QR code; it'll take you to the socials, which will take you to his current song. Oh dear. Well, thank you, everybody. We will be there. We just got there, only just. But next week, grab your tickets if you can. They're on sale tonight. And if you're not coming to Tassie, go over and have a listen to the current song. And I'll put Doghouse in the comments for you when we finish. Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Thanks for having me.